Hi, this is Mrs. Sleminski. I'm over at Middleton right now, but this is a video for all beginning violin and viola students and your parents. So if you are having a hard time remembering some of the things that we learned this week, this is a great way to just review what we've done. I don't make these videos every single week, but I think it's important for our first few lessons. So one of the first things that we did was about safety, knowing what's the bottom or the top of our instrument. On this one, I see some rings for backpack straps. If you have backpack straps on your case, that's definitely the bottom. So like that. If you have a pocket on the case, that's definitely the top. Or if there's kind of a curved part. I notice on this case right here, there are a couple of just knobs. That's definitely the bottom. All right. So our cases are safe being flat on the floor like this, or handle up. Opening up the case, it's way easier if you have the handle towards your belly and the top up. And after you unzip and unlatch, some of the things that we'll find inside of here, you won't have your bow, but I have a bow in my school case right here. We've got our rosin block. They all look a little bit different. They do the same job. It's something that we use with our bows. And you can just leave that in your case, store it in your case, keep it there until we are using it. You'd also find your cleaning cloth. They, again, might look kind of different, but do the same job. Keep that in your case. All right, and you probably have some kind of sponge. A lot of them are blue, there's some gray ones, and a few people have something called a shoulder rest, where it's actually something that's hard with a little bit of squishy sponge on it. This is entirely squishy. Notice when I'm storing it, a lot of cases, it's really easy to leave it just like this under the neck, under the skinny part of our violin or viola. If you have a case where it's hard to tell where to fit it in, this is probably the way to put it in. This is a safe place to put that. The sponge will get squished a little bit, but that's okay. It's meant to squish. All right, so what I want to just show you really quick is part of how you can attach the sponge onto a violin or viola, because that can be tricky the first couple of times. I need to get a chair really quick to set up my phone. Set up the camera here. All right, this should do it. Gotta point it kind of weird. Okay, so with my instrument, I have my scroll on top, pegs, which I do not move unless my name is Mrs. Sleminski. The neck is the skinny part, shoulders right here, and the bridge right here is the most delicate part. We do not want to move it. If that tips over, our instrument will not make sound. We won't be able to use the strings. That's something that I can fix, so if that does happen, let me know and I can take care of that the next time that I'm at your student's school. Okay, so what we talked about is how students, we'll start off like this. We'll turn so the back of the instrument is towards us. I'm going to take the curly part called the scroll, tip that to the left like this. A lot of the times I will rest my violin or viola on my knee while I'm doing this, so that I have one hand that can safely hold on to my instrument. I take my sponge, stand it up tall so it looks like Minnesota, and I should have the fatter part. If it's clear that there's a fatter part, that should be on the bottom. Lay that against my thing, so I've got from this direction, skinny side up, fat side down, and then I usually use my thumbs and fingers to move that on. Whoops, that broke. So if it breaks, I have more, or maybe you've got another at home. I'm just gonna make do right now. But anywho, that's why we got rubber bands on the back. We learned also about how to put our instrument up on our shoulder. It starts by holding onto the instrument. I've got my left hand on the left shoulder of the violin or viola, belly towards me. arm up, called the Statue of Liberty. Make our arms stronger. Okay. And then I'm going to turn it. The scroll stays pointing out, but I'm going to land it on top of my shoulder. And I'm going to get it in a place, try to see, can I find a comfy spot where when I take my hand away, it stays in the same position. Okay? It takes a little bit of moving around those first couple of weeks, but if it hurts, move it around a little bit. You might need to move the sponge really close to the end. If it's hanging out in the middle, bring it more towards the end. Okay, try that out. And then everyone has gotten a sticker that is on this dark part right here called the fingerboard. Our right thumb goes there, and then our right pointer finger is what is going to be plucking the strings. And this one's a little out of tune. We'll get that fixed up. So that is a lot of what we learned this week. Being safe with our instrument, how to get to this no hands position, where to put our thumb, and practice some of the D's and A's, violins and violas, or check your book to double check which two strings are D and A. All right. So until next time, it's Mrs. Slominski. Have fun practicing and try out, make your own songs with D and A. Maybe try some other strings. See you next week.